Well, good afternoon and welcome to JagZoneLIVE, coming to you direct from the Wire Stadium at Firhill this cold Saturday afternoon Foundation Takeover Day, and the first part of our programme today. I don't have Christopher beside me, but I have Jamie McDonald from the Jags Foundation. Now, this is not the Jamie McDonald that's played for Hearts and Kilmarnock and Wraith Rovers and Queen of the South, amongst others, but very much part of the social media angle of the Foundation. Welcome, Jamie. Looking forward to today?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much for having me. I've listened to JagZone for years, so it's nice to finally get on the airwaves.
We don't have a lot of time, so we're going to push straight on. It's Jags Foundation Takeover Day, hospitality jam-packed with red and yellow virtually everywhere. But tell us a little bit about the Foundation's aims, where it is at the moment, and what the ambitions are for the next few months.
Well, the aims are just to get as many members joining as possible. We're currently doing a thing called Project 2000, so we're hoping to hit 2,000 members within this year. That'd be fantastic. The more members we have, the stronger we are together. We can give the club more money. We've increased the donations to the club this year. It's gone up from 10,000 to 12,500 per month. We've also increased the commitments to the women's team and the Thistle Youth Academy. So the more members we have, the more we can do. Absolutely.
Now, the aim of getting more members in becomes harder and harder the more you've got signed up. So how do we go about that? What's the plan?
Well, we're doing a couple of things. You've got to increase the incentives for people to join. We're going to be doing a couple more things throughout the year. We're going to be doing another members barbecue later in the year. We've also got a Q&A with Chris Doolan, Paul McDonald, and potentially someone from the first team as well. That should be coming up next month. A couple other things, such as like the kit. We've released that. We'll have a couple of other products coming out within the year that if you're a member of the Foundation you'll be able to get, and hopefully next season we should be able to run another one of our hospitality takeover days.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the kit a little bit later on, because the team are wearing a special kit for today, which looks absolutely magnificent, by the way, and as I say, we'll talk more about that. The Foundation had problems as it's set into motion, taking over the shares from the previous board, which led to a lot of acrimony. Thankfully, we got into a position where we had kind of mediators, really, the trustees that are there just now, and it's all beginning to settle down. Do you feel you're kind of over the problems that particular time of the process was in action?
I would say so, yeah, and I'd say it's a big thanks to the people that came before me. I only joined the Jags Foundation board in the summer of 2024, so the people that came before, quite a lot of them have now left the board, but they did a lot of the groundwork and a lot of the hard, long hours of trying to sort out any issues that were and iron out any problems that had come before. But I feel we're definitely in a better place now, and we just want to strive forward and get as much done as we can.
It's important that there is a strong leadership group to back a club focus, or a focus where the club is fan owned, because it's really the only way it can work, isn't it?
Absolutely, and the way we see it is, like, we're here to represent you. We're not going to be making any sort of decisions on our own. It's all going to be member consultation. Such a big thing that we do. We've done it even on like smaller issues such as like the singing section over there. We asked for opinions on that. Obviously bigger issues such as the tranche 2 investment. Anything we do is going to be on behalf of the fans, so we're there to represent you, basically.
There's going to be stuff that people want the board or the Foundation to do, which is basically hold everybody accountable. That's going to be the hardest part, isn't it? Is going to be able to go to the board and say, look, you may be the board, but we are the trustees, are part of the trustees. You have to do a good job. That's going to be the hardest part, isn't it?
Of course, a big part of that is we've got a fan representative on the board now. It's a thing that got introduced last year, which was, we've got Stuart Callison who's part of the Jags Foundation board, but he's also sitting on the club board as well. And that sort of thing hopefully opens a direct line of communication, a bit more transparency, that sort of stuff. So things like that we think are very important as well.
Absolutely. Just getting that number to 2,000 psychologically, I guess that's where it makes a difference, and that's where you kind of try and gauge against other clubs who are also in fan ownership.
Absolutely. There's a couple of clubs out there that have been doing it longer than us, like Hearts, for example, and stuff, and obviously they do have a bigger fan base. But if we can get up to 2,000, like you said, it's a good psychological barrier to break, and I think it shows that we are a strong unit if you hit 2,000 members. And we're, as we said, this year we're hopeful that will happen, and the more we get, hopefully the more we can strive on beyond that.
I think a good gauge to look at was the last home game here, where there were just over 4,000 Thistle fans. That's just a little over half of what you've got in terms of, you've got half that number in terms of members. So there is still quite a number of people out there that you can persuade, isn't there?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's what we hope to be doing. Like we said, not just with Project 2000, but with other incentives we're doing, with other products we're launching, and just generally, hopefully we can, as I said earlier, the more people we have join, hopefully we can at least maintain the commitments we're currently doing and hopefully increase them within the
Okay, we
next few
talked
years.
the strip. It's a fabulous strip. Let's go to the concept, because it's a great concept, and again, a buying in of the club and the foundation coming up with it. Where did the idea come from, and how successful has it been?
Well, one of the board members, Stuart Goldie's been a massive part of that. He's really pushed and done a lot of work behind the scenes to get this kicked. We had to get it granted with the SPFL originally, and then we had to get the sponsorships, who kindly agreed to all remove the sponsorship for this one game. The idea kind of came from the Foundation of Hearts, who did a similar thing. They had a kit, I think it was a grey one, kind of a way top, and had the names of all their foundation members on it. We thought doing something similar like that would be fantastic, so that's where the original thing came from. We wanted to go to a kind of retro concept design, so that's where we're going for quite a classic badge and just very simple red and yellow design with a classic collar as well. So that's where the design came from and the idea for the names. Yeah,
and you did mention the thanks to the sponsors, the current sponsors.
Absolutely.
who have kind of wiped away their name for one day only.
Absolutely, that's a big thing for us, and also the women's team will be wearing that at their next home game against Dundee United, which is on the 26th of January. So you watch out for it again there, and obviously today, and hopefully see 2 wins in it.
Absolutely, that would be fantastic. Tell us a little bit about the foundation board. You mentioned Stuart Callison's on the actual board itself. Who else can somebody look out for if they wanted to get some info on the Jags Foundation?
Look out for any of us, but currently our chair is Lindsay Kane. We're all available on social media. Like we said, Stuart Callison's on the club board as well as the foundation board. Graham Cowie, he's been around for quite a while as well. He's a big part of the board. But I mean, we're all of us are available to talk to anybody who wants to learn anything about the board. We're all available via social media, or you can just email the Jags Foundation. Our email's on the website, and we'll respond to you as quickly as we can. But yeah, we do often quite get people talking to us via social media, via either the Jags Foundation's official account or one of our Twitter accounts, etc. So happy to talk to anybody, and anyone has any questions, they can talk to me on Twitter about it or anything.
And of course, what is important is how the communication comes across.
Absolutely.
And I've got to say that not in my 40 odd years of Partick Thistle supporting have I seen as open communication as we're getting just now. There will always be those that are never happy, but by and large I think the general consensus is that communication is at the highest level it's ever been. I take it that's been a key element of what you've set out to do.
Absolutely, and it's again, it was before I joined. It's always been a thing of increasing transparency, increasing communications. Like I said earlier, we represent the fans, so we've got to be transparent. We can't be going around making decisions without consulting the members that we represent, and hopefully, like we said, if having a representative on the board, that kind of direct line of communication opens up. And as you said, we think it's gotten better as well, but there's always room for improvement in anything, so we hope to continue that.
So if somebody's listening and they think, you know what, I like the sound of this, I think I'll join up first of all, you say just get in touch with the website or through the website and get your application sorted?
Yep, yeah, so just go onto the website. Only takes about 5 minutes to sign up, like 10 minutes tops. There's a couple of different membership packages. There's a £10 one, which is recommended for anyone like full-time employment. But you don't have to do that one. There's a £5 one as well for like students, people who are retired, and there's a £1 junior membership as well per month. So any of those that people are willing to sign up to would be fantastic.
And if somebody's been a member for a lengthy time and think, Jamie, I like the sound of what you're talking about, I wouldn't mind getting more involved.
Absolutely.
What's the format?
Well, for example, if there's elections, you have a 3-year maximum term and you have to stand for re-election again, but every single summer there'll be elections to replace certain board members, and if people want to join the board, then there'll be candidacy opening slightly later in the year, but before summer, and if people want to, there'll be stuff out on social media about it near to the time, but they can put their name forward and join the board. And if you really want to, you believe you could add value and make any changes you want, I highly recommend putting yourself forward. It's worth doing.
Do you enjoy it?
I do, yeah, I do enjoy it. Stuff like today, obviously, it takes a while organising stuff sometimes, but when you see it all come together, it's absolutely worth it.
And of course, next door, as I said, there's 200 odd people enjoying the hospitality takeover. There's a whole host of Thistle legends through there as well. It's just the fabric of being part of a club that is so hell-bent on making sure that all the fans get to be a part of the fabric of the club, isn't it?
Absolutely, and like events like today are fantastic, and it's not just like numbers on a screen or whatever. You actually get to see everybody showing up to something, and nearly everybody's in there on their Jags Foundation top, and it looks fantastic, and it's great to see, like you said, club legends showed up. We've got members of the women's team in there as well, and it's brilliant to see everybody coming along for a day like today.
So all in all, you thoroughly recommend anybody should be joining the Jags Foundation?
Absolutely.
Good. Well, we've got a couple of minutes left, so let's talk about a little bit about the football.
Yep.
There's always a downside to that. I was just asking you beforehand when you started becoming a Thistle fan. You timed it nicely, getting a championship season. How have you found life as a Thistle fan?
Oh, I've loved it. As much as it's been, tough at times, I've had, with like certain events such as the playoff final and relegation and whatnot, it's always worth it. I go to every single game home and away, and I wouldn't change it. I go on the supporters bus, go with my mum most of the time, and yeah, I absolutely love it. And anyone who isn't a Thistle fan, I try to drag my friends along to games sometimes, especially if we're sitting in the land base, good atmosphere, and I absolutely love it.
And of course, you have a bit of a social media input into the game. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, for the Jags Foundation, I do quite a lot of their social media. I do some of it for the Draw Loads of Draw podcast as well, because I'm on that. And also, I just waffle on Twitter a lot as well, via my own Twitter account. So, I do enjoy a bit of social media interactions. It's a good way to get to know other fans and meet a lot of people. A lot of people I'm now friends with in person at Thistle I've met through social media. So
it's been an experience, and very much is similar to what's happening in the hospitality. It's an experience where you can mingle with everybody in the club, and that makes it very different, very unique, and something that you really want to be a part of, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and I'd say Thistle's quite a unique club like that. Obviously, the fan base, like you said, you got 4,000 last game at home, is about maybe 5,000, 6,000 Thistle fans, so it's a much kind of tighter community. Obviously, we want to expand that, get as many fans as we can in, but you get to know a lot of people, and you see the same faces at home and away games, and I'd say it's a great community to be a part of.
Absolutely. If somebody wins Euro Millions tomorrow night, Tuesday night, whenever it's next on, and wants to invest couple of £1 million in Partick Thistle, how do they go about that? How does that impact on fan ownership?
Well, it would depend when it comes down to it. Like we said, originally there was a tranche 2. The tranche 2 investment was to sell a certain amount of the shares, but we had to consult the fans before that. We can't just go like, yeah, take that for shares. My advice to them would be join the Jags Foundation.
Absolutely. Okay, Jamie, I'm going to say thank you for coming along and giving us quite an input into your thoughts as to the Jags Foundation. I think the great majority of Thistle supporters fully back the foundation. I know you'll always have the one or two in particular, who have their own particular views and elements, but there's little doubt that if you can attract the best part of 2,000 people to back your campaign and donate the amount of money that you are doing, there is little doubt that you're going in the right direction, you're doing something right. I think it's only fair that we all pass on to you and to your committee and to the rest of them that it's keep going, don't give up, don't get downhearted or don't get fed up at all. Just keep going, keep the momentum going, and I'm sure we'll see plenty of success.
All right, well, thank you very much for having me on, and hopefully we're all enjoying 3 points by the end of today.
Absolutely. Jamie, thanks again.
Thank you very much.
Chris is going to come back and join us just now.